welcome back to Date with the Divas. We got some hot topics to discuss. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button and don't forget to like our videos. Grab your beverage of choice and let's hop to it. Marnita, what you got?
All right, divas and all right, viewers. We're gonna start with Miss Kim Kardashian. She's been in the news for a bit. People say she's exploiting her children, letting Northwest be on TikTok. She and Northwest have a TikTok together. That is Kim and her daughter Northwest. But the other day, the news dropped that Kim filed for 4 trademarks under Northwest's name. It looks like 2 or 1 is for toys and entertainment and things like that. And then there's 2 for skincare. So I think I wasn't totally clear on it. It's like 2 for toys, 2 for skincare. So people are saying that she's exploiting North. Most people on Twitter seem to have a problem with the skincare trademark, saying that North is too young to have any skin problems. She hasn't had acne. She hasn't even had a pimple. Why does she have a skincare line? One person was hating on the toy line, talking about, well, I've never even seen Northwest play with toys. What do y'all think? Do you think this is just good business sense, or do you think she's exploiting her daughter?
How is it exploiting her? I mean, what harm is it doing to her? It's like setting up a savings account for your child.
Thank you. I think she's being smart. That's a nice name. People going to want to use her for something, so get it before somebody else gets it.
And that's a good point, because these articles did point out that these are not the first trademarks that Kim has put out in her child's name. She has several trademarks in her son Palm's name. So yeah, it's not the first, and maybe she's just trying to get on the defense before anybody else.
North is going to be a teenager very soon, so she's going to need a skincare line.
Yeah,
right. And I'm saying,
you don't have to be the needy one to put out a business product.
Right. And I was going to say, just because she's got the trademark now doesn't mean the skincare line's coming out. It could come out when she's an adult, but she's already trademarked it for it. So when she actually does have skin, or she's using products for her skincare, that's maybe when she's thinking future forward. And I mean, I don't think it's exploiting. Like you said, it's kind of like great business sense on what you need to do. Right. And her children have catchy names, and they're in the limelight industry. That they've got following. So you know what? Make your money.
Yeah,
let these kids have their life.
Forget who Kim Kardashian's mother is. She has learned from the best.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I would have done the same. The same.
I forgot to cite my sources on that, so let me run it back. My sources on that were the Jasmine brand and fashionnetwork.com. Viewers, jump in. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Kim Kardashian is exploiting her kids? Or do you think it's okay? Get that money.
It's okay.
Get them trademarks before somebody else does.
Get your money. Get your money. Yes. If I could do it, I would.
I agree, Marilyn.
I mean, look, we ain't talking about the people that put their cable in their kids' names and stuff. Now that's exploitation.
What about credit cards?
Oh yeah, credit cards, and running up their credit, and bad credit before the kid even 18.
They grow up and try to get a little credit card or something, and they credit score is already bad. Like what is this? All right, y'all. We're gonna keep that one short and sweet, because I promise y'all we got some mess to get into a little bit later. But we are going to keep it Kardashian adjacent, and we're going to talk about the former Miss Blac Chyna. She is now going by her given government name, Angela White. So Blac Chyna, 34 years old. For those who don't know, she was formerly a stripper, kind of made it to being a socialite, reality star, ended up with she had a baby with Tyga. When she was done with him, once their relationship was over, she had a baby with Rob Kardashian, and they had a TV show. But she says she's outgrown Blac Chyna, and that it's time to go back to her birth name, Angela White. She revealed that she was baptized last year on her birthday. She has deactivated her OnlyFans. where she reportedly made $2 million in the span of 2 years. She's dissolved all her facial features. She's got rid of her breast implants, her silicone butt implants, and she warns people that these things are dangerous, that the silicone is dangerous, that you can get seriously injured or die. Once she had the implants taken out, the butt implants, she lost 10 pounds. And, you know, she's just sharing with everybody her journey. These are some journeys, some pictures of her getting fillers taken out of her face. And she just wants
She
to.
had the picture to the left is her with the fillers. So that was her filming herself before she went in to get the fillers removed. The picture to the right, obviously, is getting her cheek fillers removed. You can already see like the difference.
Yeah. And, you know, she explains that.
Removed.
The question, I thought she still had her breast implants, though. She didn't get those removed. I thought she just reduced them.
From what I saw, maybe it's a reduction. I thought she had them removed. I was looking at so many things, running it back. My sources are the Jasmine brand, Page 6, Madame Noir, the Neighborhood Talk, and Media Takeout, by the way. So I could be wrong on that. I could have misquoted it. She may have just gotten it reduced because she's had multiple surgeries. I think this was like her 5th or 6th augmentation of her breasts. And she says that she started getting all this work done when she was 19 and just, it doesn't fit her anymore. She wants to see what her face really looks like. She wants to set a good example for her kids. King Cairo, who is 10, that is her son that she had with Tyga, and Dream Renee Kardashian, who is 6, her daughter that she had with Rob Kardashian. So fans have been praising her for, you know, taking this journey. And then her mom got on social media. Her mom, Tokyo Tony, got on social media and was like, oh, y'all saying y'all proud of Blac Chyna? Y'all some clowns. I don't know what that's all about. There's been some few back and forth with her and her mama, but what do y'all think about this? Or do you think it's something we should praise? Do you think she's doing a good job? Do you think the people who are praising her are clowns? What y'all think?
I think it's healthy for her to have all that stuff taken out, personally.
You know, it's her thing, you know, it's her own journey. It's whatever it is, you know. She started out putting these things, that was her journey, that was her thing. Now she decides she wants to remove them and just see herself, and it's all good. It's all good, you know. Everybody goes through their thing. You know, you'll have these, you get these statements, you know, what people that say, for example, you got married, right? And then or you had kids and then you finished doing that, and then but you're telling the next one, I don't do that, don't get married, don't have kids, and blah blah blah. But you finished doing it. So that was your journey. So this is the next person's journey. So this is her thing. It's all good.
I mean,
It's all
it's
good.
kind of similar. I mean, not similar, but people who get tattoos and then later get them removed because you do it when you're young and you not saying it was a mistake, it was just a decision. And now that you've matured or you're at a different place in your life, you don't feel like you need them anymore. I mean, I respect that she did it and she was public about it, letting
Yes.
everybody know this is what she's doing and this is why. That's a personal decision. You know, I give her props for doing that. Does she need to be praised? I mean, I think it's, good, but it's just, hey, it's a
Yeah.
personal journey and she's in the public and she's probably just wanting to make sure everybody understands, like, she's not sick, nothing happened. This is what she's doing for her life.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point. I'm glad you brought up the tattoo because that's another thing that she had a demonic tattoo on her hip. She had that removed. So she's just going through
Okay.
like a total transformation.
Okay.
Yeah, sound
Well,
like
she
God
looks
spoke to her.
beautiful. You
Mhm.
know, she looks great, you know. So I mean,
It'll
she
be
looked pretty
interesting to
before,
see-
but
It'll be interesting to see where she goes in her career because she's kind of built her brand on that
Right.
look and on being, very highly sexualized.
Mhm.
So I'm interested because I saw the interview she did on TMZ where she was talking about she got baptized on her birthday and she's meditating and going to church and reading and she was just like a wholly different person. She had the librarian hairdo and I was just like, okay, well, where are we going with this? Like I'm curious to see how she's gonna make money now because
Right.
people know her for a certain thing.
Mhm.
mhm.
Or maybe
you
she
think
feel like
she
she made
was
enough money, or she's going back to school. Maybe there's some other businesses behind it. Maybe she's gonna kind of do like, who was it? Is it K Michelle? And then please I get wrong. Who did the reality show? Who had surgeries that went
Yes.
wrong?
I
Hey,
believe
Michelle.
so.
And so
Yes.
maybe she's
Yeah.
gonna do some kind of, something which is kind of, hey, going back to your natural self, or making sure you're and getting rid of and not
Kind of
doing all this stuff,
rebranding herself.
rebranding
But
herself.
Kate
Yeah.
Michelle has talent. Isn't she a singer?
She is.
Yes,
She's-
but she had some,
but
she had some work done.
Yeah, but she has talent. What I'm saying is you don't have to have a big booty to be a successful singer.
but
Right.
at
No,
this point,
You have to be have a big booty to be on OnlyFans and to do what Blac Chyna has made herself famous for doing.
but maybe I should get on some OnlyFans. Do you think they like toes? I'm
oh
sorry.
girl, that's
You know what? That's
Larsa
the
said?
biggest thing. Biggest thing is toes.
Yes.
Apparently, cheap.
Maybe I mean, do I need a side hustle? Start showing my toes. How do I do that, y'all?
But you
Date
know
with
what?
Diva
I
toes?
have a theory about this. and
Okay.
we'll see if I'm right or wrong. But I don't know if you guys heard last week, she wore some Dolce and Gabbana. And when she was asked about it, she said, "This is because my daughter's auntie is doing a collab with Dolce and Gabbana." She was referencing Kim Kardashian. So she's like, "So I'm just trying to support Kim." And I was like, well, that's a reversal. So I'm wondering if she's trying to get back
in the fold.
Yes.
Well, is this the same day that she was wearing the Kim Kardashian t-shirt?
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw that too. And then she was like, yeah, that's Dream's auntie,
Mhm.
So,
I was like, oh,
you
she's
know.
the auntie now. Okay.
Just like you said, she's got to think about how she's gonna make her money. So
I mean, maybe, they were friends first. She was friends with Kim first. So maybe she's trying to in
Ingratiate.
making amends for
Yeah.
everything that she did. It's like, okay, I support that because that's Dream's auntie or whatever, but all right, it would be interesting. But I think it's an interesting rebrand, and there are places to go, like you brought up, Marilyn. Like, I could see a fix my butt show, or fix my life type of thing, where she because at some point I'm no shame to anybody on OnlyFans and stuff, but you either got to keep that stuff up or it's gonna go away, and she probably was just like, I can't keep this up for forever.
But she could have kept
right
making her
about-
coin.
right about now, too.
I think we all have forgotten that she was saved.
That she was what?
Saved. She was born again.
That she was saved?
baptized. She was
Oh, yeah, she
baptized
was
on her
She
birthday.
got baptized on her birthday.
So we're talking about all these, what she's doing and what she's got to do and why she did it. Maybe she just
did it
was
too.
saved.
Oh no, I think
okay,
I
yeah.
said that. I thought that God talked to you. You do. I mean, if you are
Yeah.
a believer, if God talked to me and told me to do something, I'm doing it. I ain't going,
Right.
I'll be looking at you like it's between me and
Mhm.
God. Got
Yeah.
nothing else to say what you do. And that means he's going to provide for her and give her the insight or whatever her next business
Again.
move is. That's in alignment with their relationship.
Yeah.
And
But
her
you can
child.
be on OnlyFans and still love the Lord. Let's be clear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I hear you, but if God tell you not to be on it, you're going to do, Again, like I love the Lord, but should I get my toes up in there? Y'all let me know. Drop down in the comments. Should I get my own
Yes.
fans putting their toes? Should
The
the
Lord
the
gave
date
you
with the
those
Divas.
toes.
Look, the date with Divas, we should have all of our toes up in there. So I'm just saying.
We gotta bless others with these toes.
Toes. They don't see, you wouldn't even know which diva is. You just know it's a range of colors.
Guess
Sorry.
the diva's toe.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack y'all, but it is a thought. Just saying.
Hey, we like a sidetrack. We like a sidetrack.
And it's not me this
An
time.
OnlyFans account coming on. Somebody in our midst.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Just
You
dip your
never
toe in.
know. You're never. If all of us are on ching ching.
Mhm. I'm like, girl, them some nice sandals.
Look, I gotta make sure my fans accounts like my feet and all my, I gotta make sure I keep it up to par. So we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
I
Yes,
thought about
well-
doing it after I saw the documentary on Hulu about OnlyFans. I was like, well, I could just do a little, some bikini shots and whatnot and But then you have to like interact with the fans, like those
Right.
guys, when they write to you, you're supposed to write back. I was like, oh no.
see.
You gotta
So
keep
yeah,
the
that-
numbers up. You gotta keep the
Right,
numbers
That's
up.
homework.
That's homework.
There is
Oh,
homework,
now I'm about to rethink
there's
that.
homework, there's tasks that they ask you to do while you're live. They ask you to do a whole lot of stuff. Now,
You only
Oh.
seeing my toes. What am I going to do? I'm gonna
allegedly,
dip.
I'm not doing anything live.
They might want your toes like in whipped cream or
cream
something
or
like that.
chocolate.
No
How much they
live.
Or in
paying? I can
honey.
do that.
Well, viewers, if y'all,
Okay,
if
now.
y'all ready to pay for the OnlyFans, if y'all want to see some toes, let us know. Anybody out there with a successful OnlyFans, let us know. I don't forgot what we was talking about. Oh, we was talking about Angela White,
I'm sorry.
formerly known as Blac Chyna. If y'all got any comments on that or any comments on what her mom said, drop down in the comments. Get in on the conversation. All right, y'all ready for the mess?
Okay,
Mm.
we
Ava, I know
ready.
you just got here. You ready for the mess?
We need
Always
some
ready for the
receipts.
mess.
We need some receipts.
Always ready for the mess.
Okay, we ready for the mess. So, we gonna talk about this whole Latasha Scott,
Oh,
Rocky
again?
Scott,
yeah.
or excuse me, Rocky Bivens, and Tamika Scott. It's been a lot over the last week. So
Mhm.
last week, Tasha K, the YouTuber, had a interview with
Tasha.
Rocky Bivens' alleged mistress, Unico. I'm sorry, I didn't even put her name in my
Unique.
notes.
Her name's Unique.
Unique, but it's spelled weird.
Just spells it. Nico.
Yeah.
She
they-
pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm
Oh, no, that's
condoning
Todd.
the
That's-
affair.
No, that's
What's her name? Yeah,
Wait.
this is Miss Unique.
Here we go. Unique. Here we
Who
go.
had the short hair? That was. I'm
That's
sorry.
Tasha K.
that's
Oh.
Tasha. Yeah,
Still
That's
good
Tasha
there.
K.
Is a
YouTuber.
very famous YouTuber.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Tasha K had her interview with that, with her. Pastor Randolph Scott, who is Tamika and Latasha's father, he stepped in the chat. He did a interview on a show called The Juice Talk Show and Radio Show. What is it? The Juice Radio and Talk Show on YouTube, excuse me. So they had Pastor Randolph Scott over, and he really just wanted to address kind of the allegations or the implications on the show that he abandoned the family. He said, me and my ex-wife Gloria, who was Tamika and Tamika and Latasha's mom. He's
Get
like,
it right. Get it right.
thank you. I'm like,
Too many names.
too many tis. He was like, we were married, we weren't getting along, we divorced, we both saw other people. I got married. I never abandoned my family. I was their part of the girl's life, but all they growing up. He had a book of receipts. He was like, I used to do security for Xscape when they first came out. So, he wanted to clear that up. Then back to Tasha K. There was a call between Rocky Bivens, who is Latasha Scott's husband, and Tasha K. It sounds like Rocky called Tasha K because she had interviewed his alleged mistress. That call was just crazy. He was throwing out allegations about people in the group and spouses of people in the group. He was like, oh, you heard the news, right? We got Todd was caught sucking off a transgender, and Tiny is in trouble. And then when it came to
So he's deflecting on a
I was
call
gonna say,
that
he's
he
deflect-
called for himself. He's
And
deflecting.
he
He's
also
deflected.
he also said Tamika, his sister-in-law, had sent him nude pictures of herself.
Exactly. He said Tamika sent him news about the $30,000. He said, now, just to get it clear, because I had to listen to this twice, we all know on the show, Tamika is accusing Rocky and her sister Latasha of stealing $30,000. He says that Latasha's checks were actually going to Tamika, but that's a family thing and he wasn't going to speak on it. Like, the label had the sisters mixed up. So he's like, that's a family thing. I ain't even gonna speak on it. About the mistress, he said that she has been stalking him for years, that Latasha, his wife, is aware of it. When asked if he's been unfaithful, he's just, kind of everybody makes mistakes type of thing.
Oh, yes.
So there was that. Mess continues.
That's a lot. We ain't talking about any of that yet. That's a lot of tea.
I'm like, that's a lot. Let me run down the whole thing. So now everybody's doing YouTube videos, y'all. Everybody got a YouTube channel. Everybody doing YouTube videos, including us. Did y'all subscribe to our videos? Subscribe. Anyway, so now Latasha Scott steps in the chat. She does a YouTube video where she claims that her sister Tamika was lying about the stolen checks. But then she says, oh, this was 10 years ago. And why you just bringing it up now? I never heard about it. I'm like, if you never heard about it, then how do you know it's 10 years ago? But okay. So she says that she wants her sister to apologize to her, like her sister apologized to Candy. So for anybody that watched Xscape Still Kicking It, which was on, what was that, a year or two ago, we saw that Tamika and Candy had been having kind of a feud, and Tamika apologized to Candy. They were on tour, they were on stage, and it was caught on camera for the show. So Latasha's like, I want my apology like you gave one to Candy. You gave it to her on stage and on the show. I should get my apology like that. Saying that Tamika lied about the $30,000. Did lost my place in my notes. And then Latasha is also saying that she didn't want to do this show. She was the last person to sign up for this Queens of R&B show that is currently running on Bravo. She only did it because her sister talked her into it. It was like, it would be a great way to promote the other things that we were doing. And then Latasha says, my husband Rocky got my sister and I a deal for a duet gospel album, but that fell apart because, and she claims that her sister no longer want to do that deal because she wanted to do the show. So now Tamika has her own YouTube channel where she's kind of been doing recaps of the Queens of Xscape show. Tamika steps in and responds to her sister, and here's where the receipts come. She's like, I'm tired of the lies. So what we have on screen here is a picture of one of the checks that has a forged signature. That's why she has not my signature. It says Tamika Scott, but she says that's not her signature. And below it says Edward Bivens, which is Rocky Bivens' legal name. Tamika explained that when Tiny's mother signed the group up for these royalties, Tiny's mother signed her up with using Tamika's then New York address, but Tamika never got her checks. When she and Tiny's mother, what was her name? Miss Diane. When Miss Diane and Tamika got together and called the company that was distributing the checks, they said, oh, your address was changed to this address in Georgia. Apparently, allegedly, her sister, Latasha, called and said that she was Tamika's manager, had the checks sent to her address, and then they were like, yeah, they've all been cashed, because it was multiple checks. They were like, they've all been cashed by Edward Bivens. And Tamika also showed a text where Rocky texted her kind of threatening her. He was like, oh, what's worse? You saying your sister stole $30,000 from you, or what if I get on and say that you were sending me news and I have a sex tape of you that you did in 2016. If you don't apologize to your sister and your mother like you apologized to Candy, we gonna leak it. but you won't be alone because we got a video of Todd sucking a transgender, which again, what was that to do with anything? So I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot of mess. It was a tangled web. What do y'all think of this mess?
It's
Two
more than
words.
30,000. It's more than 30,000.
2
That's
words,
what she
and I
said.
said it last week. Forensic accountant. That's it.
Well, I actually saw that YouTube where she said, and she had Miss Diane on there, and then she said the reason she didn't prosecute because it was her sister. She could have gotten her money, but they said she would have had to file charges, and she chose, for the sake of her family, I'm assuming, not to file charges. And so I
Is the
think
statute of limitations over or something? Do you get?
No, it's not.
it's not. She
Okay.
could, but I mean, that's why I think it's really interesting if this has occurred and those guys know that it has occurred and she's got proof. Y'all sitting up here saying, and she could actually file charges on you right now, and we're gonna add some interest and some jail time.
Right.
What I don't understand is, how do you come out hard and call someone a liar when you know they have receipts that
Right.
you stole money from them? That's the part I didn't get.
I think they think it's fraudulent or falsified, but you can go to the company and get the actual bank. I
I'm
mean,
talking about Tasha and Rocky. They know what they did.
no,
They
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
have some
Yeah.
evidence. Like, they know she has to have some
They
receipts.
probably didn't think she was going to come out with it like that.
That
Right.
part.
They
Right.
didn't
That's what
think
I
she was
think.
going
They
to come
were
out with
just
it like that.
all this time that she kept saying she's not gonna come out of her family and blah blah blah, and then so they're like, yeah, she's not gonna do it. She's not
But
gonna do it.
they pushed her. I mean, the way, I mean,
Yeah.
they wouldn't, yeah, they kept going, she lying. Okay, so after you can call me a liar one too many times, and this I'm going to
Right.
show you, here's my receipt.
Yeah.
And have somebody else under Diane to be able to say that it was set up this way, and then how did it get changed? And why does it happen to be her sister's address? Why would it be? That doesn't make sense. I think what is really interesting, and I would like to see the front of the check, is how did he sign it and the bank cash it if his name's not on the front of the check? To me, that seems like the bank had some issues too on that they cashed a check that
I
they
think
shouldn't have been
I
cashing.
think they forged her signature as though she had endorsed it.
Right.
Right, but it didn't say, pay to, transfer to. It just, I mean, when I'm looking at the one example, it just had her name. They didn't need to put his name on it unless there was some, that's why I was wondering what name was on the front that they needed to sign his name to the back.
So
That just,
in one of the interviews that I saw, there was an interview that Tamika, Tiny, and Candy did on a platform called Access Atlanta. And they were kind of addressing what you were saying. They were saying that this is, and I don't know this to be true. They were saying that this was so
Allegedly.
long ago that they weren't exactly allegedly, which Tamika was like, I'm here, allege nothing, but I don't really understand. Like, they were saying that because it was the time that it was like that, this was back in the 90s, there were certain things that the bank didn't check for that they would check for now. So like, that doesn't seem that long ago to me.
Rocky Bivens being a manager for the group.
Right.
So a lot of times checks do go to your representation, and your representation cashes the checks and then sends it out to the band members.
Right.
So the company that was issuing these checks, I think they got caught up in that confusion because Latasha's address was submitted as Tamika's address.
And what one of the things that Tamika said was that Latasha said that she was Tamika's manager. So, I don't know. It's still a lot.
Going back what you said, Marnita, too, this was during the 90s where that checking thing was just a little bit different, meaning checking about the address and, checking about who's actually calling and saying, transferring, saying that, this needs to go wherever, maybe was a little less stringent than what it is today.
And then another thing that Tamika has brought up in multiple interviews, like when she was on this Access Atlanta, she was saying that Xscape had a kind of a group email chain where they would send copies of their passport and stuff. So at some point there was a copy of her passport sent.
They used her passport.
Yeah. Which now, because even Candy was talking about stuff like that on her Speak On It. She was like, yeah, that's why I didn't really want to go into a company with everyone because there's some, some non-trustworthy things going on. So it's like maybe they took her passport and said they were her.
No, Divas, would you, if your sister stole $30,000 from you, would you prosecute her? Would you have her prosecuted? Or would you let it go?
I don't know.
But this is a different situation. That's like a loaded question, you know?
Yeah.
Because again, I think we had kind of mentioned this, it's kind of like, okay, he took whatever and here you go, here's your money, and are we good? And if so, again, that depends on your relationship with your family,
Right.
Are we good? I gave it back to you and we done. Or, if this person is like, look, no, I'm still complaining, and the other person's like, I ain't giving you nothing, well, then maybe there is going to be some kind of, prosecution or what have you. But I think it depends on the scenario, because their scenario is a little different,
I think this is Tamika's vindication of like putting it out. Like, you are not the person that you said you are, and now you're trying to make me out to be a liar. Your husband is threatening me. You're
Revenge
threatening
porn? Like, who does that?
exactly.
And
yeah.
And
See, that's what I mean. This is different.
Yeah, Tamika admits to doing a sex tape. She said she did a sex tape in her 20s. She gave it to her sister to hold.
why are we giving our sister our sex tapes?
Right. She's like, she didn't want her kids to find it.
Tamika, that's weird.
And then
That's what a safety deposit
like,
box
oh,
is
it was
for.
stolen.
I mean, come on, y'all.
You have all your unmentionables. What happened to that?
Yeah,
Put it
right.
in your safe.
What
Like,
is it,
put
the
it up in your
shoebox?
own safe.
Get
The
it
shoebox,
in
right?
there, like,
Put it up in your safe. Put it underneath some, some drawers.
Like, where's
A
my
little
sister?
wood panel in the closet, that little loose floorboard that you
little
can
floorboard.
Look, you pop in the floorboard, putting it underneath in a little box, and when you need to. Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, here, sis, I did this
Yes,
sex tape. Can
sis,
you
here's
hold
my
this for me?
video.
my sister would have a heart attack.
Exactly.
But you know what Latasha Scott does? It got stolen. She got called a couple of years ago and told the video was stolen. And she's like,
No.
who had the access to it? And she's like, just me and Rocky.
Right.
Like, so the
They were watching it and having. Sorry, I'm just allegedly
Rocky was
saying.
probably watching it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Taking
sorry. I
screenshots.
apologize. And that's crazy. You're gonna put it out there. I mean, what for? I mean, it's how
Right.
old? I mean, shoot,
Not
you may
even
get some.
that, but that's vengeful.
Yeah, that's
like,
it. Yeah.
Very
like-
Especially
for
when you
what
know
purpose?
you did wrong, when you know you wrong and you dirty. See, I would be on the DL. I mean, not that I would do anything like that, but I'd be like,
Yeah.
let me here's your $30,000 back. Let's just
Right.
squash this and
Like,
let's
let's
this.
squash
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, like if
Thank
this is
you.
really still bothering you and this occurred and this is my signature and whatever, let's just,
Right.
maybe
But
they
you
don't
know,
got
This
$30,000.
years ago.
If
Years
she,
ago.
When she goes to court-
intentionally was that dirty, like, to change her paperwork and all that,
I don't
she is
trust anything.
Just
What were you saying, Ms. Nicole?
Even if she has what she says, you still have to go to court and have that proven. They can say, I didn't sign that.
mhm.
I didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not an automatic just because she has something that she says is not my signature.
Right.
Forensic accountant.
Right?
Yeah.
She would
Yeah.
make this up.
Well-
Signature analyst.
Yes.
I don't think she would make this up.
And the fact
I-
you threatening her, the fact that he's threatening her,
Threatening
there's
her.
something behind that. Like,
Something,
if
yeah.
you really are truly innocent, you don't got to, like, I don't need to do, like, okay, if
Right.
you believe
And
I
you-
do that,
but
then
we
let's
supposed
take
to be
me to
family.
court. Take me to court and we can deal with this. If you really believe we did this, then take it. Like, I can prove
Let's
I didn't.
squash
I
it.
mean, let's squash this. But they're going the
Diva
opposite.
put out a video earlier today, and Funky Dineva said to Latasha and Rocky, if y'all are bad, as you say you are, and you're innocent, go to the court tomorrow and sue Tamika for what she's
Right.
claiming.
They
Right?
ain't gonna do it.
That's what he said. You're not gonna do it.
You ain't
because
gonna
know
do it.
this happened.
Okay, once again, I forgot to cite my sources, y'all. Okay, first off, I gotta give a shout out to my new Facebook friend, Key B Wonder. Girl, thank you for sending me all these links and keeping me in the loop. We connected via that Living Single fan club group I told y'all I was part of.
Oh,
making connections. But Kibi Wonder, thank you for keeping me up on everything, sending me all these links. The YouTubes that I watched to get all this information were The Juice Radio and Talk Show, Kempire, Access Atlanta, Unwind with Tasha K, Scotty by Nature TV, Tamika Scott Speaks, no, I'm sorry, Tamika Scott's YouTube, and Latasha Scott Speaks, which is her YouTube. So yeah, just had to get that in. But yeah, Lavelle, you've been pretty quiet.
End of Escape. Do you think that
I am. It's so hard for me to upset all of it. My mind is going left and right and all around. It's just so much to handle.
Yeah, it is a lot. I think it's the end of Escape as 4. I think they can go as 3. You know, which they've been going, but Shamari DeVoe, y'all remember her? She was in Black, and she was on
She's
Housewives
married.
of Atlanta.
Yeah.
She put her bid in on Twitter. She put a little picture of her and Candy, because I think she was on Candy's dungeon tour at a point. It was a picture of her and Candy on stage, and she was like, I love Escape as it is, but I wouldn't mind, or no, she was like, I'm forever Black, but I would love to sing with Escape. So
that would be awesome? She has
we'll
a
see.
beautiful voice. She has a
She does.
voice.
Yeah.
what were you talking about? Get in where you fit in.
Get in, close mouths don't
Right.
get
Closed mouths don't get
Auntie
fed.
Don't stop, no show, right?
Exactly.
Go on, girl.
Exactly. So y'all gonna buy Latasha's
Hell no,
gospel
her
album.
gospel, you doing revenge porn, you're stealing from your sister, and you have the nerve to put out a gospel album? Like, get out of here.
That's not very Christian-like.
It's not.
It's
And
not.
I forgot to tell y'all, when they did supposedly have a deal together, or Tamika says that they did have a deal together. She said Rocky didn't get it for him. It was another manager. It wasn't Rocky. She said that she and Tamika were having a night together. They were, you know, being sisters. Tamika was at Latasha was at Tamika's house. They was cooking, they was bonding. And Tamika said, okay, if we're gonna do this album, we got to split everything down the middle. And she said Latasha went off. She said she went off so bad that Tamika just fell asleep. Tamika's husband was like, yeah, she kept on going off after you fell asleep. I just walked out the room. They like Latasha went off and went crazy. So
Why
yeah,
wouldn't you
that
split it? If
sounds
you guys are,
official.
if you're dual, why wouldn't you split it? Would she think she get
Right.
more than 50-50?
Right. I think she just used to her being little sister in the background, and you know, she
Little
like,
sisters
don't
grow
deserve
up.
it. Exactly.
become
Little sisters
adult.
all grown
You
Grown.
now.
saw how she was hating when they were showing what is it, the stage
Right.
ideas
She used to
and
have
Right,
stuff.
right,
set
Creative
design and
ideas.
stuff. Yep.
Tasha, girl, you need to get your ego in check. You need to get your husband in check, and you need to find Jesus all over again.
And you need to send your sister a check.
Thank you.
Plus interest.
Yes.
You got a lot to
Correct.
do, girl, before we see you again.
Yes.
And
All
ask for
right,
some
y'all. Well,
forgiveness.
Thank you for hanging with the Divas. It's been a great night. We got through all the mess, and we will see y'all next week. Good night.
Cheers.
Nice.
Good night.
Night.